Seems like just a few weeks ago, gas prices got down to a very tolerable $2.97 or so a gallon, but it couldn't last. Now they're back up to around $3.19 a gallon in and around Tuscaloosa. Chances are you've probably been trying to find ways to cut back on the amount of gas you're using. Well, General Motors wants you to think back a few decades. You remember manual transmissions. Fans of the old stick shifts say that they get better gas mileage than people who drive automatic transmissions. General Motors agrees. They were showing off some of the new vehicles with stick shifts in them a couple of weeks ago at the Major League Baseball All-Star Game. I spoke with GM's head of consumer affairs, James Bell, about the renewed interest in stick shifts courtesy of General Motors. James Bell, head of consumer affairs with General Motors. He is in Kansas City at the All-Star Game. James, thanks so much for chatting with us today.
Oh, it's my pleasure. Thank you for having me on.
Absolutely. Now, James, you're a GM guy, so you're probably not going to like this too much. But my very first car was a 1973 Super Beetle. It was a stick, and it was definitely interesting to drive, particularly whenever you put it in reverse. How are stick shifts now? It's been a long time since I've seen a vehicle, a newer one, that had a stick in it.
Well, first a disclaimer, my first car was a 71 Super Beetle, so I know exactly what you're talking about. Technology has advanced quite a bit when it comes to manual gearboxes, and really it's in the ease of use and taking away some of the anxiety. I'm sure you remember when first time you're going to take off up a hill, there's that moment of, I don't want to slide the clutch too much, I'm going to burn a little bit, but I don't want to stall, I don't want to take off too fast. So there's that whole kind of balancing point. Chevrolet is introducing on their new little Sonic car, which you're now seeing going around the track here behind me, a system called Hill Hold. Basically, it uses the braking system to hold a vehicle in place until such time that it feels like, okay, the guy's given me enough gasoline, he's taken off enough clutch, we're ready to go forward. So it really wipes away a lot of that anxiety a lot of people have when they're using an automatic gearbox or learning how to use it one in the first place. Or sorry, a manual gearbox, not automatic.
There you go. James, I've always heard that manual transmissions tend to get much better gas mileage than automatic ones. Is that true, or is that urban legend?
It is true. In regards to the Chevrolet Sonic here, and we're doing a little demonstration with here during the All-Star Game, you're looking at 40 miles per gallon on the highway compared to 37 with the automatic gearbox. And the reason being is that the automatic gearbox, number one, it's heavier, it's got more complexity, and actually draws power from the engine to run the gearing, to run the fluids and so forth. So that's energy that you're burning that's not driving the car forward.
Now, James, it's been a little while since I've been car shopping, but the last 2 or 3 times that I saw new vehicles sitting on the lot, none of them had stick shifts in them. Is this something you've got to specifically ask for, or is this something that's making a comeback? Should I expect to start seeing some manual transmissions out on the car lots?
I think it's really an issue of the kind of vehicle you're looking at. I mean, we're seeing this kind of renaissance, if you will, in manual gearboxes in smaller cars, more fuel-efficient cars, which are getting much more popular as people are a little more concerned about what fuel prices might do in the future. And I think what's exciting about it, though, is that once upon a time, a small car like this wasn't a lot of fun to drive. Bit of a penalty box, if you will. But jumping ahead here to 2012, we've now got, I mean, this Chevrolet Sonic I've been referencing, it comes with a 1.4 liter four-cylinder engine with turbocharge on it. So this is a fun little car. It's one of those that you really want to row the gears, get the most power out as possible. And so you're going to see these sort of things, these manual gearboxes coming into cars like the Chevrolet Sonic going forward.